Morning, welcome to
KidMath80.
Okay, so this is the end of our series about quadratics and quartics. It's also the end of the year, so that's kind of a fun thing to end on. So we've been talking for the last like 5 or 6 videos about quadratics and cubics, and it all started. What was the question that started this whole thing?
Cube root of 343.
That's exactly right. You asked me why that didn't have 2 solutions, kind of like square roots. So, and we've gone all the way through, and I've explained that cubics have 3 solutions, and that Gauss proved the fundamental theorem of algebra, which says an nth degree polynomial has n solutions, including complex numbers. So, in this last one, I just wanted to give you a little bit of history. The quadratic equation that we learned about goes all the way back to the year 1650 with the Indian mathematician Brahmagupta. Now, I don't know this history that well.
1650?
Oh, sorry, did I say 1650?
Yeah.
650, not 1650, 650. I had thought, and I couldn't verify this morning preparing for this, I didn't think Fibonacci invented the quadratic formula, but I thought Fibonacci had brought the quadratic formula into the European world in the year 1200 with a book he published called Liber Abaci, but I couldn't verify that. But this Indian mathematician Brahmagupta did a lot of amazing stuff. In fact, there's an incredible, some incredible geometry stuff that he did. And then almost 1,000 years went by until a mathematician, really 3 mathematicians in Italy, Cardano, Ferrari, and Tartaglia, came up with the formula, the similar formula to the quadratic equation to solve cubics in general and to solve quartics in general. And that was around 1550. So almost 1,000 years goes by. And so people figure out 3rd degree cubics and 4th degree quartics. So any cubic equation you write down, any quartic equation you write down, you can solve by these formulas. And these formulas are very complicated, but I can show them to you if you want, just not right now. And then let's say about another 300 years went by, and there was a young French mathematician named Galois who proved that for equations of 5th degree and higher, so quintics, and then 6th degree, 7th degree, 8th degree, whatever it was and higher, it's impossible to find a general solution.
So you can find a solution for individuals, but you can't find like a formula.
Right, you can't find a formula. So some of them you could solve, like x to the 5th equals 1. You could figure out how to solve this. But in general, there's no formula. So
like
it's
ax to the 5th, and then
plus bx to the 4th plus 6, yeah. And so he was only about 20 years old when he figured this out. So this was a problem that had been first studied, 1,200 years ago in India, then 300 years about before in Italy, and when he was 20, he figured out there was no solution in general. So it's actually really neat. It's a neat history. And these were all important steps in understanding mathematics, and it occurred over a long period of time. So someday I'll show you these formulas. It's actually pretty interesting math, but you have to be kind of well versed in algebra. And then this is something you learn about in college, or at least much later on, in abstract algebra, in a field called group theory. You ever heard of group theory before?
no.
That's fun. Well, anyway, so that's the history. It was a really, really good question you asked. Glad we had a chance to spend Christmas break talking about this. This was actually really fun. All right. Good job, sweetie. Good job.